I'm actually trying to find a way on like how to start doing this because it's like I know all the things that I want to say, but I just don't know how to start. So I apologize because that was not like the best introduction ever or anything, but I decided to do this video because I need to, you know, vent somehow instead of like bothering people individually first of all, and second because I think it's very important to talk about this and like your own feelings and how things actually affect you, because people don't really realize that sometimes. I actually really appreciate you all watching this, to be honest, because I mean, you know, it must not be, I know it's not like the best thing seeing someone venting about how they're actually feeling and like not feeling like the best, you know. It's actually a negative feeling, you know, negative feelings, not positive. So I really appreciate you watching this, knowing all of that. So yeah, I mean, oh my god, I don't know where to start. On Sunday, I think it was, or yesterday, I decided to take a short break from social media. It was mostly like a break from answering messages, basically, because I was just so overwhelmed, and I don't know, it's just very hard to answer like individually or like pretend that you are doing fine or anything with those people when you're actually not. And you know, it's very hard to be honest about that, and it's very hard to take a break from social media, at least for me, because like my life is literally around social media. Like my life is social media. That's what that's my world, basically. I mean, it's not totally fine because I literally have no real life friends or anything. So of course it's not okay, and sometimes like my mental health changes depending on what I see on social media, because with social media we tend like to compare ourselves. Social media can be very triggering, you know. People don't really like to talk about those things sometimes, and I thought it would be like very important to talk about it like today or whenever you're seeing this. And like to also express how I'm actually feeling, you know, and to tell you that what you're seeing on social media, like the things that I post or the pictures that I post, like smiling and all of that, it doesn't mean that I'm actually happy, you know. People tend to fake it all on social media sometimes. It's weird, like feeling so depressed after having one of the greatest days of my life, basically. So on Saturday afternoon, we went to have tea with one of my closest friends, and her mother and my mother went too, and we had a really lovely time, to be honest. And that night I had a class. It was an accent through song class where I was going to be singing. I sang, by the way. I felt very happy because of that moment. I mean, it was wonderful, like finally being able like to go out with my friend, and after not seeing her for such a long time. So yeah, it was really, really fun. We talked about everything. We laughed like the whole time. It was wonderful, to be honest, and the food was very, very delicious. It was, yeah, so it was an amazing time. We spent a really amazing time together. Then when it came to class, I actually I was feeling very nervous, because I think we all feel nervous about performing. I mean, if you're into this and you do this, I'm sure you would understand me when it comes to performing, that you would feel very nervous when you have to. And class didn't go that well, it didn't go as expected, and that made me feel like very low. It made me feel very sad because of all the feedback that I received. I mean, there are things I need to clarify right now, because I'm sure you're gonna be like, oh yeah, but that's how life is, and I know that's how it is. Yeah, I know. And at first I thought, okay, if I want to be in this industry, then I will have to get used to these things. So I said, okay, whatever. I just try to not like pay too much attention to this and like try to forget it. But you know, it's very hard. Because compared to the other singers' feedbacks, mine was the worst. Like, I know I'm very bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. As I said, it was an accent through song class. The teacher only gave me feedback on my singing and not on my acting, which is what he should have focused on, and he didn't. So yeah, and of course I won't say anything, like I don't want to say the name of the teacher, and I won't post any videos or anything. But yeah, as I said, I tried like to kind of forget it and be like, okay, this is gonna happen to me all the time, so I'm just gonna let it be, you know. But I was still feeling very depressed, to be honest. It was so bad. The next day, like on Sunday, I had to record myself doing a song, because I'm in a new musical, so I mean, it's all virtual, of course, so I had to record myself doing a song, singing it, you know. That's what I did, and I got also like awful feedback from the director. I mean, that's totally understandable, you know, but it also made me feel like even worse than I was feeling before, because I was like very like doubting myself as an artist, I mean, you know, because I was like, oh, is this like right for me? Like, something, am I doing it right? Am I doing right by taking singing lessons and doing all of that, even though I'm very passionate about musical theatre? Am I doing the right thing by wanting to follow that career, like following all the steps to get to do the career, you know? I was doubting so badly, like so badly. And as I said, like on Saturday after that experience, I was like very depressed. And when you're feeling like really bad, it actually affects your singing. So I think the reason why it sounded like so badly, it must have been because of the way that I was feeling. So so yeah, I mean, I know I know I need to work on all of that, of course, but also I think it was my voice. I think it was even more affected than usual because of the way that I was feeling, and because I was like literally contracting everything on here, you know. I don't know if that's a correct word, but like focusing everything on here, like here on my chest, and like my vocal cords will like get tensed and that stuff. I was feeling very bad, like so damn awful. And yesterday, Monday, I was going to start school, like my last year, and I was like even more depressed because I hate high school with my whole life. I think I'm one of the people from the minority who actually hates high school with her whole life. But like, do you know the feeling of hating something? Like literally hate. I really hate going to high school because I think it's because I have literally no friends there. So it's like, I mean, I don't mind being on my own, like in breaks and all of that, but my classroom, like this year, of course every year we change of classroom, and my classroom this year is like in the hall, and it's got windows, so every time people pass over my class, everyone always looks like inside of it, and they always see me lonely, and I'm like, oh, they must be thinking like, oh, that's the antisocial of all of us, and she has no friends. And I mean, it's true, but I wouldn't like people like to know it, you know. It's awful. I mean, I have fun just by myself because I'm with my phone and everything, but I just don't like it when people see me like that, because I know what they might be thinking, and I'm sure they will be laughing at me, and it's awful. Something that I forgot to mention is that on Monday, when I woke up, so yesterday, when I woke up, the first thing that I saw, it was a notification that I got a new comment on my video of where I was talking about my lesson with Anna. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I love getting comments because nobody comments on my videos really. So everyone actually messages me later. It's not that people don't care or anything. They just message me later, and I'm like, please comment it. And the person who commented literally said, hey, you obviously can't sing. And I was like, gosh, another comment of those again. Another one. And you know, getting feedback from people is great. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's helpful, but it's kind of better if you're in the industry or if you're a professional, and not if you're, you know, like a beginner just like me. It's like if I gave you feedback on something, like, it would be so stupid, like, because I'm not a professional. And also, like, the way that you give that feedback, please always be kind. You don't even know what other person is going through at the moment, and if you're there to help, do it in the best way that you can. Like, give that feedback. Yeah, it's really appreciated, but not like with that attitude of like, hey, I'm better than you here, because that's not how it is. That's not how you give feedback. And if you're a professional, just do it the way that you like, but also be kind, of course. But it's better to get feedback from a professional. Like, it's kind of more valid because they actually know of what they're talking about, and not someone who's taking lessons for a few months, you know, who has been taking lessons for a few months. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. As I said, this really affected my mental health, like, so badly. I am still feeling like, I feel really unhappy. I'm gonna be direct and tell you the truth. I don't feel happy at all. I feel like hopeless, like there's literally no hope, like, for me in the future. I feel like sometimes I feel like I don't really have a future where I'm doing like something that I really like, or I'm doing something that I like but I'm not successful at it. I don't know if that makes sense, or if you ever have those thoughts, but I do feel it that way, and it's awful. So I feel even like more hopeless every time, and I still have those thoughts, like those, you know, suicidal thoughts about ending my life. Like, ending my life is an option that I, you know, it's a chance that I could take, you know, but I feel like I'm very coward to try it, so that's why I've never done it. That's why I've never tried it. But I always have those thoughts, and, well, not always, like right now, I mean, like, whenever I'm feeling like so low, I think I've never felt so low in my life like I'm feeling right now. When it comes to like hope and future and all of that, I remember feeling extremely sad and low when my dog passed away. But it was a different feeling. You know, it's weird saying that, but it was a very, very different feeling. Because I didn't feel like, I don't know, wanting to die or stuff like that. But right now I do, you know. It's like, who would fucking care if I killed myself and disappeared from this world? I feel like people would be so much happier and so much more, how do you say, like, calmer, you know? They wouldn't be having someone annoying them with stuff and all of that. Like, I think I would make my parents and my family's in general, my family's life so much easier, because I feel like I am a really big weight, and I feel like I make people's lives so much worse, like a lot. And I mean, the feeling is awful, of course. People won't really show that to you, like, never. But I know that I'm like very annoying to everyone, and whenever like friends tell me like, hey, come tell me how you're feeling, I remember like once that happened, and I kind of FaceTime with that friend, and she wasn't listening to me at all. She was like doing something else in the moment, and I felt so bad, because I was like, oh, are you sure that you want me to keep on telling you this? Because you're not paying attention to me, you're not listening to me, you're doing something else, and I know that you're not listening to me. So I felt like I was being very, very annoying, and that feeling is awful. You know, it's really, really awful. So don't ever be like that with your friends or someone that comes to you to ask for help. Please, I'm gonna ask you to please never do that. I beg you, never, because it's like the worst feeling in the world. Like, noticing that you're being so annoying to that person, it's just awful. It's awful, because it's like, it makes you feel even worse than you're actually feeling. So don't ever do it, please. Of course, I don't want to tell my parents how I'm actually feeling, or tell them, hey, I want to literally end my life right now, because I feel like I have no future at all. And of course, I don't dare to say that. I can't. I don't want to make them feel worse. So I think that's why I'm doing it like on here. And it's also weird, because I don't pretend that you have pity on me or anything like that. Like, that's the least thing that I want. Like, no. I think I just need to be heard. That's why I did this video. And I'm glad that you heard me, you know? But I'm not trying to make you feel like, oh, I feel so bad for her. Don't. I don't pretend that. Not at all. I pretend that you empathize with me. And guys, I just want to thank you for listening to me. Like, if you watched the whole video, it's very much appreciated. Like, it means a lot, because it means that I'm being heard. And once again, I don't want you to feel pity on me. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for that. I'll see you on my next video, which I think I will keep on talking about this, because I think it's very necessary. This was more like a vent rather than talking about mental health. So I really appreciate you listening to me. See you in my next video.